Hi everybody, it's Tom from FindTheBestCarPrice.com. Today we're going to look at this 2022 Sonic Gray Honda Accord Sport Special Edition. The sticker price on this particular model is $34,674. So let's take a look at exactly what you get for that price. As far as beyond just the exterior color, you have a very nice setup here with the headlights. You will find the fog lights, LED fog lights there on the lower portion of the bumper. A lot of gloss black found on this model that really accents this Sonic Gray exterior color. At all four corners, you will find the 235/40 tires wrapped around the 5-spoke alloy 19-inch wheels. Safety-wise, right down here, if you didn't know, this is where Honda sensing is located on these vehicles. That means you're going to have adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, road departure mitigation, all those good features. And we'll take a look at the remote right there. You can see everything that's there. Let's turn this way so we have a little bit more light. There we go. Get it out of the shadows. And you can see lock, unlock, all the features there for opening the trunk, panic button, and remote start, something that a lot of people really like. Now you do see that we do have the turn signals turned on the front of the vehicle. But you won't see turn signal indicators, at least not here on this trim level, built into the side view mirrors. They are manually folding. They are heated, by the way, just in case you were wondering. That's always a popular feature. These are not factory tinted windows, but they are tinted here by the dealership where I am using this particular vehicle. And more of that black accent. I said there was a lot of gloss black on the vehicle, not only here for the rear spoiler that just seems to be the right size for this car, but also on the shark fin antenna up there. You will also find 16.7 cubic feet of cargo space. And if you want to maximize that cargo space by lowering the rear seats, all you have to do is pull on these levers and you can lower one side or both of these 60/40 split folding rear seats. And motivating this front-wheel drive Accord is the 1.5-liter turbocharged direct injection four-cylinder. It makes 192 horsepower and is mated to a continuously variable single-speed or CVT transmission. Out of all the CVTs in the industry, Honda does seem to have the one that behaves the best. So if you're concerned about that, well, maybe you can alleviate some of that. Just come in and drive one of these for yourself, and I think you'll find out that it does a really good job. What about gas mileage numbers with that smaller engine under the hood at 192 horsepower? 29 miles per gallon city, 35 out on the highway, a combined total of 32 miles per gallon. And per every 100 miles you drive, Honda says you should burn through 3.1 gallons of gas. The rear seat for a mid-size sedan is comfortable. You have a reasonable amount of space within the door bin. This is not a full-size sedan, so you're not going to necessarily have a full-size door bins. And you will find map pockets on the rear of both seats. We'll hop inside here real quick. Obviously, you'll have the fold-down armrest with the cup holders built in. Now, you don't have air conditioning vents here in the rear, at least not on this particular trim level. You will find connectivity via the way of two USB ports. And now that we're here into the interior, let's take a look at what we have here. Obviously, the adjustments for those heated side view mirrors, the power side view mirrors right there. You can push it to the left, obviously, for where you need to adjust. And then if you're not adjusting left or right, there is a neutral position right there. Child safety locks, all that good stuff. You do have one touch front windows, so the front window on the driver and passenger side, both one touch down and one touch up. And taking a quick look at the instrument cluster, a very nice look there. And when you start changing driving modes, you go into Econ mode, you'll see that change down there on the bottom where it turns green. And when you go into Sport mode, you'll notice that the surround goes from white to red. So a very nice look there to let you know. And there is the difference of what you will see with Econ mode. It goes back to white, but let you know what mode you're in. Steering wheel mounted controls, probably don't have to tell you a whole lot about exactly what that does. It's very easy to figure out. And the shifter paddles here, even though it kind of just mimics shifting through gears because obviously you only have one with that single speed CVT. And if you're new to the technology of these vehicles, and I know there's still plenty of people out there who have never had anything like this before, Honda's infotainment system is one of the easiest in the industry to learn. And maybe not as much here as you might find on some other vehicles or some other Honda models, but let me just show you a little bit of what is here. There is Apple CarPlay and Android Auto integration, so it's not actually here, but you can integrate that. Obviously, you can connect your phone. Pretty simple to do. Then you're going to have your dual zone climate control. You can sync those together, as you can see over here on the right hand side, or you can turn that off where each zone can be set individually. And concealed away right here, if you want to conceal things away, that's how you do that. 12-volt power outlet. Let's see if I can reach around and get to that around the shifter, and then the dual USB ports. Now there is no wireless charging right here, but that is an available option on these Accords. Good news for those of you who are not fans of the push button shifters. You have a conventional shifter. In fact, I'm going to go into reverse and we'll take a look at the rear view camera, a very nice and clear image, taking a look at the multiple views available depending on what your situation and or needs are. There are your cup holders, the controls for changing modes that I mentioned earlier. If you want to turn the auto stop start feature on or off, there's the button for that. Power parking brake and brake hold mode. You come to a complete stop when that's activated. Then you can take your foot off the brake and the vehicle will stay in place until you hit the gas pedal again. So a very nice convenience. You do have the tray right here on the top of the center console. This car is so hot, I don't know if you can hear it or not, but the fire department is now on their way, just so you know what we're hearing. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but you do have another 12-volt power outlet right here and a reasonable amount of space. You don't have to leave the tray in here. If I can get that in place, kind of hard to do when you're holding the camera at the same time, but you can move that around or just leave it out depending on what your desires and situation is. Okay, as we hop out onto the road for our test drive, let's try something that I don't always do, but I need to start doing this more often. Let's try every single driving mode and see what the differences are, at least as best as I can convey that to you. It's always best for you to get your hands wrapped around the leather-wrapped steering wheel and put your foot on the gas pedal. But as I cruise on down the road here, the acceleration is good in just the base regular driving mode. When you go into Econ mode, you definitely will notice a difference. The RPMs don't go as high. They definitely don't go as high as fast. So that's going to make a difference. That's where I am right now. And for some people, that may be the right place to be. Let's change the colors from white to red on the dashboard and try sport mode, because I can definitely tell you right now that sport mode will not let you down when it comes to having a good time and getting down the road as quickly as possible. In fact, it really makes a big difference. Of course, going from Econ mode to sport mode, obviously that's going to be a noticeable change, because you go from the least capabilities to the most capabilities when it comes to driving modes. So how about overall comfort, steering capabilities, all that good stuff? What do we have here? So what about the overall driving experience? Well, the handling is sure great. The ride quality is good. It's not uncomfortable, that's for sure. The seats themselves are nice and comfortable. There's a lot of room within the interior and a lot of adjustability. I already talked about how you have a 12-way adjustable driver's seat and then the 4-way adjustable power passenger seat, both being power, both being heated. You do have ventilated seats available from Honda, but that's not going to be found here on this particular model. We'll go ahead and accelerate down the road here a little bit. But overall, I always have to give high marks to these Accords. Honda has done a great job with these Honda Accords. No matter what trim level you get, they ride well, they drive well, they have the capability with either engine option to accelerate with absolutely no problem. Obviously, if you want the most out of the dropping the pedal to the floor experience, well, the 2.0T turbocharged 2-liter at 252 horsepower is the direction you will want to go. But at 192 horsepower out of this 1.5-liter turbocharged engine, this Accord still has no problem getting down the road and accelerating up to highway speeds. Whatever you need to do, it has no problem. Now, obviously, I don't have anybody in the vehicle with me, so that would make somewhat of a difference depending on how much they weigh, depending on if we have cargo in the trunk, all that stuff. But that's why I always say, it's better for you to get out and do a test drive for yourself. We can show you a lot of the features and the functionality of any car in these video reviews on YouTube. But when it comes to the test drive, it's not as easy to necessarily convey the experience in the same way. That's why I always like to say it's best for you to get out and test drive for yourself. To learn more about the model in today's video, visit the link in the description for a detailed comparison between trims and pricing for the vehicle we featured or any vehicle you may be interested in. These pages feature information such as our recommended trim level based on price, value, and features. Thank you for taking the time to watch today's video. We look forward to seeing you next time.